What's up, guys? Welcome to today's episode of the Elite Physique Training Podcast. I'm Gareth Sapstead.
James Waters.
And today we're going to chat about how to keep your transformation process on track while traveling. So we're going to be going into like daily travels, what to do, prepping food, things you can pick up at the gas station, and then like long haul type things. So going on vacation, how do you navigate around that? So James, what do you know?
He said gas station. We're in the UK.
I know, but it's that
you just
thing.
come back, didn't you?
I know. Yeah, I've just come back from New York. So actually, this is a good topic to discuss because obviously, the reason this topic came about is basically because I took a family trip to New York, and then next week I'm off to Reno. So a lot of travel at the moment. And I just posted a few things on my stories and the Elite Physique training page as well. And then just had some DMs about like, we need more information about this. What do we do? This looks like a really good idea. And all it was me like at an airport eating jerky and things like that, you know, just real world stuff. So this is literally off the back end of people asking like, how do you navigate travel? So let's just start with like daily travel, right? So I think a good example to start with is, so I think in January now, we went to like a workshop in Kent, bikini workshop, which was like an entire day event. Both of us travelled, like I think it was like an hour and a half trip for you.
Hour and a half, 2 hours,
a few hours for me. And obviously, like we're both on track trying to hit some goals ourselves at the moment. So what did you do to like prep for that day?
So I think it comes down to a lot of the conversation we have, but how important is your goal? So I know I speak to clients, and the bigger the goal, the more I expect from them. So if someone says, I want to compete and bring my best to the stage, I expect you to do what I do and bring your food with you. If your goal is to, look good naked or, go on holiday, then you can sort of macro track, eyeball things, this, that, and the other. But for me personally, I compete, we compete, you're about to compete.
Yeah.
So you can see it here, I've got my chicken and rice with me. So I know exactly what's gone in there, I know exactly what is weighed, I know there's no extra oil, there's no extra butter, it is what I would normally have at home, so it's completely consistent. And that's what I'll do. I'll always bring more food than I need, just in case you get caught out of the house for a bit longer. And that's just me on a daily basis, unfortunately. Fortunately or unfortunately, you decide.
I suppose it's very much about prepping before the day even starts, isn't it? So it's stopping you from getting to that point where it's like, crap, I don't have any food, or having to have that scenario where you have to stop at the gas station, or what things are in the area that I can buy to have for lunch or whatever, isn't it?
But that's just like an extra element of stress that we don't want, which is quite why I sort of lean towards a meal plan ideally with clients, because they don't have to think about the macros, they don't have to think about anything else other than these are my meals, make them, bring them, or get them somewhere.
That's a good point, actually, the stress factor, because so many people talk about like, I don't have time to prep and things like that, i.e. it's an extra stress having to prep. But compare, waking up 30 minutes early to just make sure you've got a bag full of stuff that you need for the day, versus you're now on the road, you've got nothing with you, and you're thinking, crap, I need to stop to get something. Like the comparison of stress, you're better off just, I know it's really, really boring, but prepping before the day even begins, or the night before as well.
But it's, especially in this day and age, we have so many tools in the kitchen. So like, I came this morning, I've just put the rice cooker on.
Yeah.
So you can quickly just put your rice in, wash it, turn it on, and just go and do my cardio. It's cooking next door.
Yeah.
Same thing with a air fryer. Air fryer is an absolute game changer. You put a bit of seasoning on the chicken, stick it in there, close it, turn it on, and they all stop when they're done.
Yeah.
Even with my veg, I just buy frozen veg into a steamer bowl, goes in the microwave, put it in, bam, 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 and it's done.
It just makes it so much easier.
It's so much easier, but it's also so much cheaper.
Yeah.
Which is not the reason why we do it, but it's a nice little bonus to have. Who doesn't want to save a little bit of money?
I think, again, going down that meal plan avenue and benefits to that is that actually it is cheaper just to stick to a meal plan as well, isn't it? So people that say that it's really expensive eating healthy, it really isn't. Actually, it's a lot cheaper. And also, that's without even thinking about the elimination of takeout meals that you might also be adding in your standard week and how much extra they cost. You know, there's some great fake away kind of meals that you can cook at home if you wanted to, that also keep you on track and will save you cash. Like, there's nothing wrong with, I don't know, you want a burger and fries? There's nothing wrong with using your 5% beef mince to make yourself a burger, put it between a few slices of like some, I buy like those Warburton's thins.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah.
100 calorie, or like the bagel thins, 120 odd calories or whatever. Between those, bit of salad. If you want some fries, cut up the sweet potato or potato yourself, weigh it out, you know exactly, in the air fryer, and you've got a burger and chips for like 500 calories or under, depending on your quantities. I've probably gone off tangent here a little bit.
No, but you're right, because just like if you go out and buy a Nando's, let's say, and you get a client asked me the other day, what can I get from Nando's? I said, I don't want to ruin all your fun, because it's like a lifestyle client. I don't want to ruin all your fun. So what do you normally get? I think they said a half a chicken and 2 sides. Cool. So we can do that. We can use it as your free meal, or we could be a little bit more strict and we go for a butterfly chicken and a portion of rice. But that butterfly chicken is going to cost you, is that 10? I haven't been for a while, but over 10 quid?
I think the last time I went, just the butterfly chicken was about 10.
Yeah.
And you're not just having a plate with a butterfly chicken on it.
Exactly. So then you use that tenner and you could buy nearly 2 kilos of raw chicken. Yeah. I think it's about 6 quid in a supermarket. So 12 quid gets you 2 kilos of chicken. That's cooked up to quite a few meals, put it that way. I'm not going to get into the maths, but you save a lot of money. You know exactly what's in it. And it saves you time, which is, as much as the financial reward is helpful, time is important. You know, as we get older, we're working more, we're trying to get to the gym. Obviously, if you're listening to this podcast, maybe you've got a family, maybe you've got children, and maybe just want to unwind as well in your evenings and enjoy, you know, whatever it is you like to enjoy. So saving time on cooking is beneficial.
And that's something actually you see a lot with people that are that travel a lot for their job, is that at the end of the day, they've not necessarily prepped beforehand, they haven't anticipated having to have another meal. It gets to late in the evening, I don't know, they finished at 5 o'clock, they're driving home, they don't want to cook when they get home, I'll go and get a takeaway somewhere, or I'll use the Uber app or something whilst I'll pull over, use the Uber app to order something in, so when I get home,
it's ready.
It's there. I've done that before. But again, like, just meal prepping just saves you so much time. And like, everyone knows by now, like, you're prepping me for this show, so I'm on a meal plan. So bringing it back to that day, just as a good example, because we were both on that day. So you've got me on a meal plan, and my lunch is set out. But that day I didn't particularly want to take the lunch that you'd written down for me, because it basically would have meant me eating cold egg whites and things like that, which I didn't particularly want to eat. I just don't think they travel well. But because you'd set out the calories and macros for that meal plan, it's not rocket science, guys. I just swapped it for another food that was a little bit more travel friendly that day, of which basically I just did some, I was really simple, did some like overnight oats, prepped the day before, protein powder with water plus my oats. I think I put some nut butter in there to hit my fats target, put some berries in there. And that was kind of like my lunch on the go, plus obviously I took extra snacks outside of that. But it was sticking to the meal plan, but not as much that day.
Yeah. See, for me, I think I've always just followed the plan to a T, but outside of eggs and fish, just because of, it's not because I don't want to eat them cold, I don't like to eat them cold, but I will, but it's the smell, and it's not the smell that bothers me. It's like I used to be at work, and I used to put fish in the microwave, and my office was inside the library, so the whole library would smell of fish, and the same with the eggs. So I began to just eat the eggs cold. because if you don't heat it up, it doesn't.
But we're also
smell,
chatting to the
doesn't-
person here that's like blended. Have you blended beef before? Or blended
I
chicken
blended
before?
chicken, blended steak. That was awful. Blended steak. The blended steak was awful, but needs must.
Yeah.
I think most recently was just blending Cocoa Pops, which probably sounds nice, but it's not very nice. It was just like a over chocolatey milkshake, but it wasn't. The reason I was doing it because I couldn't eat any more food, quite simply.
Okay. So we're not actually encouraging people to eat like this, are we?
No. I needs must. I needed to gain the size. I physically couldn't put the food in, so I just blended it and got it in. It was better than blended steak anyway. So I'll never do that ever again. Even if it was to be like, I don't know, to win a pro shot, I would not blend steak. It was that bad. It was bitty. It was just never again.
Again, it depends on your goals, doesn't it? Like, if you're after that pro card, like, you're going to be doing everything it takes to get there. It depends on the kind of phase of training you're in and stuff like that, with your off-season, on-season, muscle builder phase, fat loss phase, whatever, really. So let's talk about, like, gas station food, or petrol station food. See, petrol station doesn't work for me because, like, you don't just get petrol. You can also get electric now, and obviously diesel.
Yeah.
So petrol station doesn't work for me.
My car's not as fancy as yours.
Mine's petrol, mate. Let's say you do need to, like, grab on the go, and you can get some good gas stations, like some of the, like, Marks and Spencers and some of the big Sainsbury's, Tesco's ones. They're almost like mini supermarkets.
Yeah,
some of them. Some of them are a little bit worse. What would be some things that people might be able to grab in there? What are some options you might be able to grab?
Just depends again on the goal, but let's say you're an athlete, so like working down, you're looking at your cooked chicken breast, you're probably looking at like bagels. These are all easily tracked, they're weighed out already, the macros are all there for you. Prawns, you get prawns in a packet which is cooked. And then as you go down the tier, to people a bit more lifestyle, I just need to get a bit of protein in and this, that and the other. You've got protein shakes that are there ready.
I think like most petrol stations now do protein shakes.
Oh yeah,
and pretty good ones as well. They're not too expensive. Like
they're quite cheap for 20 grams of protein, and they taste quite good as well.
Yeah.
You've got protein bars, of course.
Every petrol station has a protein bar.
They're like £3 in there. What else?
Fresh fruit, some of them sell as well. Like you can pick up apples and things like that. We're talking about like the chicken. Actually, here's one thing. So, a lot of the good gas stations do actually sell like packets of cooked chicken. Yeah. Some of the ones that aren't so good, smaller gas stations or ones that need the food to have a little bit longer shelf life on them. They kind of substitute what I've seen. They kind of substitute with like those fridge raiders things.
Oh yeah.
So they're like
processed chicken.
A lot more processed. Now those you do need to watch out on. So a couple of weeks ago when I was at the airport, I was pretty stuck for what to have. I was in JFK Airport coming back, and if I wanted some jelly sweets or something like that, like brilliant. But if I wanted some healthy food, like there was a few token apples and bananas, but there weren't actually many other options once I went through passport control. Once I went through bag check, and basically what I'm getting back to is that these fridge raiders processed chicken, if you actually read the label, it's something like 15 grams of protein for like 8 to 10 grams of fat. So although you think you're being good and you're getting some protein in there, actually read the label. You're probably going to get a similar amount of protein or fat from having like a packet of almonds or something, and that isn't even a great protein source.
But you think, when you have a chicken breast, the ingredients are supposed to be just chicken.
Yeah.
But when you look at the back of these packs of processed foods, there's a long list, and they are, if I'm correct, in order of what the majority of the item is. Yeah. And it's not always what you think it would be. I kind of sound like Eddie Abu right now, but you got to find that balance between, your lifestyle. I'm not saying to just eat eggs like he does or whatever it is, but balance is key and getting to your results as well. He had a new one the other day actually about egg whites and like this is shit. Crack your whole eggs. This egg. But time is important.
Yeah.
The ones in the bottle are pasteurised, this, that, and the other. But it saves me a ton of time, so I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah. There is the odd thing that he says, where it's like he does make sense. Yeah. He makes sense. I can see the angle he's coming from. But at the same time, like, no, what are you talking about, mate? Like, but I can see the angle.
The funny thing, I don't know if I told you, he used to coach me.
Did he?
My time scales are really bad, but probably about 5-6 years ago, he used to coach me, got me to stage a few times, and he is very old school, so it was very much rice, chicken, broccoli, carved up on like steak and sweet potato. There was no burgers, there was no fun.
Do you remember on... going off tangent again, I think it was either on Freeview TV or cable TV, something like that. There was a channel called LA Muscle TV. No. So there was a channel. It was up near like Babe Station or something like that. It's Channel 9. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, so he actually had a show on that channel.
Eddie Abu?
Yeah, Eddie Abu. Yeah. It was either a show or he was one of like the guests, and it was like him training and talking through some stuff. And obviously this was 10 years ago. He was a little bit less wrinkly, you know, a little bit less out there than he currently is. But yeah, so anyway, back to the airport. What I actually did with that, so I say by the time I got to the airport, I was a little bit more restricted, but I'd actually prepared beforehand anyway. So this was me coming home. I went to Trader Joe's the day before. I got a load of jerky, got some turkey jerky, got some beef jerky. I've got a few protein bars just because they worked for me. They can easily travel if I have to have them. What else did I get? I think I got some... I found some like dried apple crisps. So they weren't crisps, they're basically just dried apple and dried like strawberries or something. So all stuff that I could easily take with me. So when I got to the airport, I was like, you know, if I'm hungry, I've got stuff I can already eat, stuff on the flight to eat. I can turn, as painful as it is, I can turn down the airplane food.
Oh, that's not... heroin food is horrible.
Yeah, but you paid for it. The thing is that I'm like, I've paid for this, but I'm turning it down.
I wouldn't eat it if it was free. Like, I would literally... I'm so fussy with food. Yeah. Aeroplane food is like basically a microwave meal from, I'm not even going to give it Tesco's, from like Netto or something like that. Yeah. The cheapest microwave meal. And
it's all carbs as well, isn't it?
Yeah, well, protein costs money, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it's like, I can't remember what on my flight it was.
Cheesy pasta or something.
Yeah, because my little one Harvey, so he had basically a kid's version, so it was just a smaller version of the adult's version. And it was like chicken pasta, but there was like the tiniest bit of chicken in there, loads of pasta. And it also came with a chocolate muffin on the side and some crackers and cheese and some fruit, because obviously it was kids.
And balance. Yeah.
But it was like, I don't know, it must have been about 120 to 150 grams of carbs and maybe 20 grams of protein, absolute max in that meal. And I'm looking around the flight, and I don't judge people really, but it's a flight, you don't have much else to do. And like everyone's finishing that entire meal as well. Whereas if you planned and prepared and you've got some stuff to eat on the flight, you're avoiding having to have all that, and or you can get to the other end and actually you've got so many more calories spare when you land to have something.
But this was similar to the last podcast where we spoke about restaurants and making food nice. Yeah. If someone cooked, a plain chicken breast and plain rice, nobody or most people aren't going to want it.
True.
So it's about pleasing your customers. If you gave a normal person, a cheesy pasta, a muffin, sugary coffee and all this sort of stuff, they're going to enjoy the flight more. They're going to enjoy the process of flying with this company, and they're probably going to book again with this company.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's really healthy, they're like, I don't know. It's like kind of telling someone to watch their weight, because if they were really watching their weight anyway, they'd have their food like you did.
Yeah. So, what are some of your, I suppose, some of your travel hacks? So, like you've competed abroad as well, haven't you? Which has its own challenges. Things that you might take with you, food that you might take with you, gadgets, whatever that you wouldn't travel without.
I think the most important thing is when you're going abroad, competing or not, or just going on holiday even. I went on holiday in August with a family,
Yeah.
but we had to get one where there was a kitchenette.
Yeah.
I wasn't on prep, but the amount of food that I need to eat to just keep ticking along without like losing weight and losing my mind, we needed a kitchen. So I was able to go to the supermarket, get some food. We ate out most of the time, but I was able to top up my meals from home. So even when I go to shows here or abroad, I have to get a B&B.
Yeah.
Can't do a hotel. I've seen people do it though. They just take the microwave with them. You just put it in the bag and just take it up there. I would.
It's better than taking like a gas stove, one of those little those
Exactly.
camping
Or the hot
little-
plates, yeah.
I've known someone that's taken an air fryer before.
I would do it.
Yeah.
But ideally, you just get an Airbnb. They're quite easy nowadays.
Also, from a kid's perspective as well, with an Airbnb instead of, unless you're booking to a suite at a hotel, if you've got, like we've both got 2-year-olds, at least they've got a separate room they can potentially, or at least
Or
they
garden, or
exactly
a bit of space. Yeah.
it's separate in its space. So we made the mistake of when we went to New York, we booked somewhere without it. It said it had cooking facilities. Now, by cooking facilities, it had a kettle, right? That was it. It had a kettle and a fridge. So I got there having not prepared in my mind for that. You know, we chatted about it beforehand and said, obviously, stand on track as much as you can, having, a controllable breakfast as per meal plan, etc. Eating out as little as possible. But if you are eating out, choosing better options. I came back like 4 pounds lighter, which was brilliant.
And we kept going. It just kept falling
going.
off. Checking,
It still is falling off. So anyway, I just had a kettle. So basically, me sticking exactly to the meal plan, at least for a few meals a day, kind of went off track. But what I managed to do was, with that kettle, went to a supermarket to get like the packaged oatmeal. So I actually managed to find some protein stuff from Kodiak, which is I think a Canadian brand. So that it's like a protein oatmeal. So I basically woke up, put it in a cup. You put your boiling water over the top. I knew what the calories were, had it with a protein shake, fitted the macros that I needed to, and that was a controllable meal for me. I had a refrigerator full of berries. I had that for breakfast. That was normal. So I managed to find a way around that. In Nevada, where I'm going to, I made sure in multiple places from reliable sources that the hotel room does have cooking facilities. So I will have my exact off my meal plan meal for breakfast, lunch and dinner, because I'm there for workshops. I'm not there for with family or anything. I'm there by myself. I can literally exactly as per meal plan every single meal of the day.
But I would, if I had to get a hotel, I know my go-tos would just be, I pack it anyway when I go. I normally eat it, but cream of rice, bring a protein powder, and you bring a peanut butter.
Yeah.
You got carbs, protein, the fats, and you don't need a microwave. You don't need anything. You just cream of rice, hot water, bit of protein powder, and some peanut butter. Job done.
Yeah, I've actually got some props with me. So,
Props.
so if you're travelling, so just a few things. No affiliation here, by the way. So
We need to get them branded.
I know, Elite Physique Training branding. So most of us take pills, right, to some degree. So vitamins, omega-3s, whatever you're taking, you want to take them whilst you're travelling. Not for me, I don't know about you, but not taking certain pills automatically puts you in the frame of mind that you're kind of off track in some way. It just changes your mentality a little bit. Whereas if I can keep things the exact same from the second I wake up and throughout the day, then it just keeps on track. So this is basically, it just stores pills. So, I got this off of Amazon. I don't know what the brand is. It doesn't say. I'm sure you can find one. But it keeps all your pills in. So that's one thing I've got that I like.
Think being, replicating your day at home away is the best thing you can do. So having that normal routine. So even if you're in a hotel, can you get up, if you do cardio, go into cardio.
Yeah.
And if you can't do cardio, can you go for a walk instead? So you're still doing something at a similar time. You're having your pills, you're having your meals, and everything's as similar as possible.
You're just in a different place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, number 2. So for people that don't know, a funnel. Okay, so living that funnel life, okay? If people don't know what living the funnel life is, basically traveling with funnels. So I'm gonna be honest, I don't use this all the time. It's one of those things where if you've got pre-workouts. Like, it's more if you're traveling for one day.
But it's like when you've got the big 1.5, 2 litre bottles of water.
Yeah.
And you get the piece of paper and you're like bending it round
Yeah,
and you're trying to
like,
pull your
make a little cone out of the paper.
But that just helps.
But like you can keep your, let's say your scenario here, right? You've got a long day on the road, you're in your car most of the day, you're traveling most of the day, and you've got a gym session on the way home, right? I wouldn't go home at the end of the day, get changed and go to the gym. I would go straight to the gym whilst you're out. I would, in my boot of my car, have my gym kit already ready. I would have some pre-workout in that ready. So, because otherwise you get home and there's that...
it's an opportunity to relax.
Exactly.
It's an opportunity to put your feet up. It's an opportunity to not go out.
Yeah.
So same thing, I just tell clients, just go.
Just get it done.
Don't get home. And then by the time you do that, you get home earlier and you get more time to relax.
Yes.
So.
And another one, so that's more like if you're...
What's he got under there? What else is there?
This brand, okay, you can find this, like you can find these on Amazon. This one's a 5% nutrition one.
That's
no affiliation to them whatsoever.
Rich Piana, isn't it?
Rich Piana job. No affiliation to them. Rich Piana one. This one's actually empty. I think it had some like EAAs or something. But this is more like if you're just out for the day. It's just a sort of like a one dose of something in there. What I'm actually going to be taking with me when I'm away in Nevada in a few weeks' time. So I've kindly asked Titan Nutrition to basically supply a load of these single packets, okay, of whey. So there are other companies that do these. There aren't too many companies there, but Titan Nutrition actually will sell an entire like sample pack of these. I think they either have like 5 or 10 in there. So you've got individually packaged whey isolates.
And they're weighed out as well.
They're already weighed out. You know exactly what's in them. They fit flat in your suitcase as well. So rather than taking like a tub or something, you know exactly what you're gonna get. Same as if you're like traveling for the day or something, you can easily take one of those with you instead of a funnel. I would not buy all of your like monthly protein powder supplies in this format because it would end up being quite costly. Yeah. Although like you can get different flavors, like this, like got cherry bomb flavor. I've got like strawberry sorbet flavor and vanilla ice cream flavor here. So yeah, it's nice and kind of fancy and keeps my flavor palette going.
I actually didn't answer your question. What do I take?
Yeah.
So those are the things I normally take: my pill part, my protein. But I actually just take food now in my suitcase. Just take full of meals.
Yeah. I
travelled to Denmark in November, competed, and I just took a rucksack, and it was so much more stressful because I had to get there, and then obviously that bag gets through security, so they're checking that bag for
Have you got like one of the big chunky, like, is it like a Wolfpack style?
Yeah, the Built for Athletes bag.
They're brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant until you get charged because it doesn't fit in the flipping, in the little thing, and then you're like taking things out and you're squeezing it and pulling the straps, but that's another story. But it costs about 80 quid to £100 to have a suitcase anyway.
Yeah.
And I didn't take one to Denmark, so I ended up in the supermarket and I was buying, all the little things. So you're buying maybe some salt, fry light, and when you're abroad, they might not have these things.
Yeah.
So now I just going to pay the money because you end up leaving it there.
Yeah.
So I had massive bags of oats. I had just everything, all the little things that you have at home, you don't have with you. So you might as well take your suitcase, pay the extra money, and just take your kitchen basically, and just put it in there, and you've got your bag with you for free anyway.
That's a good point. I've got the exact same, and some people take the mickey out of people taking these giant rucksacks to the gym, and it's like, what do you have in this rucksack?
I got
like,
one.
Do you have like your entire week's worth of like food in your rucksack to take to the gym? Well, like the reality is, they're just great rucksacks. You can chuck so much in them, and they do actually fit under the airplane seats as well.
Yeah, but they don't care about that. They just want to charge you, so it has to fit in the little crevice outside as you're boarding.
Okay.
The little
I've
box.
only been long haul with my version of that. I've got one from Mirafit. It's the exact same. That kind of multiple, you've got multiple storage areas in there, and it's like you can make it big or you can kind of condense it down. And people take the mickey out of these giant bags, but they fit everything in. It's one of those. Again, it's about being prepared and having the right tools, isn't it?
I was actually thinking one of my posts I need to make. I'll get Pete to do it.
Yeah.
What is in my gym bag? Because I keep going in there. and I'm like ruffling through, and I got all these things, and I want to take them out, but at some point in the week I need them. So I've got like my straps and then my belt and then this and then that, hydration formula if I run out of drink. So that's a post for Pete to sort out anyway.
Yeah. In case anyone doesn't know, Pete is our videographer, photographer. He does everything for us. Just in case, you know.
He's going to jump in one day.
He'll jump in one day. We'll sit him here and interview him. So I think that's a nice place to kind of finish this one and kind of, I think the rule really is, it's just preparation, isn't it? Making sure you've got everything pre-prepared.
But if you're going to restaurants as well, if that you can't always prepare, or you need to socialise, or you need to socialise or something, plan ahead still.
Yeah.
So you can check the menu, so you know what you're going to order, so you don't go in there and you're really hungry and you're like, oh, what do I fancy? Whereas if you've done it, you know, in the morning or the day before, you know, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get this. It's all planned in your head. Yeah. It's all worked out. You can account for the macros in your day because of it, and you can still socialise with your friends.
It's researching the restaurants that you're going to go to beforehand. And I hate to say it, but like the likes of your Nando's, Wagamama's, places like that are going to be a little bit easier to stay on track with than going to, I don't know, the best Italian restaurant in town, for example, where on the menu it's pretty much pasta, or you're just stuck with, I don't know, a bit of steak or something.
But they probably don't have the macros or calories on there.
Oh, you've got no chance.
There's probably a lot of discrepancy in the consistency in like how much food is on your plate between your bowl and my bowl, and it's just here it is, and it says 500 calories, but my bowl is twice the size of someone else's.
It's like
Five Guys.
Five Guys.
You know the chips. It says how many calories, but they put it in the thing, and then they just
scoop.
Exactly. Like, how is that many calories?
I was watching a film like at the weekend. I can't remember what it was called now. I did actually turn it off because it was a little bit slow. But at the beginning of it, he goes to basically he was a hired killer basically. Okay, that was his job, and he was like stalking out someone. And he liked to keep himself healthy and on track. He did his yoga in the morning, you know, and he was basically just watching out for someone to come so he could shoot them. Okay. Anyway, he was trying to keep his food on track. He went to a McDonald's because it was cheap and easy. And what he did, he went to the McDonald's. For breakfast every single day, he ordered a few, I think he ordered sausage and egg muffins or something. And what he did, he ordered like 2 of them. And then he just took out the muffin part and just basically just put a few eggs together and sausages.
There we go.
And he's like, protein for $1.
There we go.
You do what you
go.
say.
Yeah. What have you got to
I was
do?
like, mate, good shout. Like,
But one thing with McDonald's, it's relatively consistent.
Yeah.
So you can get 1 beef patty,
you know
2
what you're going
pieces
to
of
get.
bread or whatever it is. Yeah.
Same with Subway's not bad either. It's not as consistent, but Subway, you can, for example, ask for a 6-inch sub with like, I don't know, double the turkey, no sauces, marinades, whatever.
You can control it a bit better.
You can control it and pack it out with veggies.
Yeah.
So like worst case scenario, stuff like that, you know, high street stuff can be pretty easy to kind of stay relatively on track if you have to do that.
But I don't know, I like blasted Nando's earlier, but if I was taking the missus out and the baby because they're sick of eating in the house, I'd go to Nando's and I'd just get a butterfly chicken or 2 and a rice and veg.
One thing though, their salads, the calories in their salads, because they list their calories, their salads are crazy calories.
But it tastes better probably.
Yeah, you're better off just having butterfly chicken, and I think the sweet potato fries are less calories than any of their salads.
But they've got wedges as well,
yeah,
which is probably less fried, but anyway.
I think they've all like their rice. I can't remember what they call it, like spicy rice. Yeah, that can. I'm sure there's some fat added there.
But the salad with probably got some sort of oil dressing on it, which make it taste nicer, which is obviously full of loads of fats. Yeah, I'm not really a salad fan anyway, so.
So I think that's a good place to finish. It was, I think, when we were speaking 10 minutes ago, and I said this is a good place to finish. But as always, we're chatting. So if you want James to show what's in his gym bag, comment below. Anything that we've added in this show that we've shared, we've spoken about, we'll put in the show notes below. As always, guys, if you want to hear any certain topics us discuss, then again, just comment below, let us know, or drop us a DM, something like that. And as always, if you are looking to take your physique to the next level and take your body through that transformation process, whether you are a complete beginner or, you know, an elite kind of competitor, then again, we'll put the link in the show notes below for online coaching, or just drop either of us a message, or any other of the Team Elite Physique Training coaches.
Before we let you go, whatever platform you're on, so if you're watching this on YouTube, you're listening to it on Apple Music or Spotify, make sure you follow and give us a good review as well.